Hey, Skull, all my fellow Viking fans. Yesterday's loss to the Atlanta Falcons was very disappointing. The 0-5 Falcons came into Minnesota and just spanked the hapless Minnesota Vikings. And I'm going to read an article to you guys here from ESPN, and these are coaches that are on the hot seat. It says Coach Mike Zimmer, Minnesota Vikings. Zimmer's Vikings have a win, but at a 1-5, it came over a fellow 1-5 team in the Texans. Zimmer, 64, has built the Vikings into an excellent defense since he became the coach in 2014. But with the team rebuilding its secondary and starting this season without pass rushing star Danielle Hunter, they can't seem to stop anybody on that side of the ball in 2020, and that's a big reason for the Vikings 1-5 start. I believe that's the main reason for the Vikings 1-5 start. They're starting two new cornerbacks back there, rookie cornerbacks. And yesterday's game with Julio Jones, he just highlighted the problems that those two rookie cornerbacks are having right now. He just torched them. Him and Ridley, they just torched the Vikings defense. I'm going to continue to read here. It says they are allowing opposing teams to score 2.85 points per drive, which ties them with the Cowboys for the second worst defense in football. Sunday added to their totals with the previously winless Falcons dropping 40 points at home in Raheem Morris's debut as Atlanta's interim coach. Matt Ryan threw for 371 yards and 4 touchdowns, with Julio Jones running through would-be arm tackles and past stalled defenders for 137 yards and 2 scores. In key situations after key situation, Ryan had no trouble finding an open receiver for a big game. Again, that goes back to the rookie cornerbacks that the Vikings have. These guys right now are clueless on coverages and what to do as far as passing receivers off to other defenders. I'm going to continue to read here. It says, on Atlanta's first touchdown of the game, the Falcons faced a 3rd and 11 at the edge of the red zone. Ryan had as many as 4 viable receivers open for a catch. And despite the fact that he drew the attention of 2 defenders in quarters coverage and had one of them commit an uncalled illegal contact penalty, Jones managed to easily shake the defense for a 20-yard score. This just can't happen. And that's true. That can't happen. How in the world you double covered and you end up as open as Julio Jones was? I'm going to continue to read here. It says Matt Ryan throws it to an open Julio Jones who easily gets across the goal line for a touchdown. The Falcons were able to get mismatches throughout the game. Jones converted a 3rd down against cornerback Harrison Hand, who was playing his 7th defensive snap as a pro. Ryan found Brian Hill out of the backfield for a big game when he was matched up against defensive end Yannick Noavi on a sim pressure. The Vikings struggled with picks and communication, leading to Hayden Hurst going totally uncovered on a 4th and 1 lead concept for a 35-yard touchdown in the 4th quarter. How are you on 4th and 1 and you give up a 35-yard touchdown? And this happened in the 4th quarter. When things like that happen because of rookie cornerbacks, you're going to lose. There's no way you're going to be able to sustain and get a win when your cornerbacks are leaving people open on 4th and 1. It says here, oddly, one thing Zimmer has been criticized for is the least of his issues. Former Bill Parcells disciple took flack for going for it on fourth and short twice over the past 2 weeks, and I have no issue with either call. I didn't have any issue with it either. In fact, I praised them for going for it. It says here the decision to go for it last week on fourth and one try to seal the game against the Seahawks was an easy call. Yep, especially given how effective Minnesota had been on the ground. The Vikings then failed on fourth and one early in the second quarter while trailing 10-0 Sunday when Mike Boone was stuffed on a direct snap from the 1 yard line. Again, I don't have a problem with it. The Falcons defense had been awful, and Minnesota was already trailing by 10 points. It was going to need points to win the game. You can take issue with the decision to use Boone on a direct snap as opposed to a different play call, but that would be on Gary Kubiak, not Zimmer, and that's true. Now, on that fourth and one in yesterday's game, where the Vikings could have scored a touchdown, I don't think I would have given it to Boone on that play either. I would have done some type of a rollout. That way, it would have given the quarterback an option to either run or throw it. Now, even though Kirk Cousins isn't the most mobile of quarterbacks, a yard out, I'm sure he could have, he could have even thrown it in or ran it in. I guess. You never know. It says, while the raw numbers dislike the Vikings, advanced metrics are a little more generous. They rank 15th in defense heading into Sunday's loss, and while they'll drop after the Falcons lit them up, this defense is closer to league average than it is to awful. Minnesota has played one of the toughest slates of opposing offenses in the league, including the Falcons, Packers, Seahawks, and Titans. 7 of the 11 defenders who started in the wild card win over the Saints in January weren't in the lineup Sunday. So, yeah, 7 of our defensive players that played in last year's playoff didn't play on Sunday, and probably most of them are not on the team anymore. It says here, I don't think Zimmer has done all that bad of a job given the circumstances. It says here, the fix. The problem for Zimmer is that it's easier to fire him than it is to fire the other people who show up later on in the list. Assuming that the Vikings don't make a move during their bye week, things get a little easier after they play the Packers in week 8. The next 5 games are the Lions, the Bears, the Cowboys, the Panthers, and Jaguars. If Zimmer can turn things around over that stretch, the team should move forward with him. If he gets embarrassed by the Packers and loses a couple of more divisional games, though, a 1-8 start could lead to a change. Firing a coach 1 year removed from a playoff victory seems harsh, but both Brad Childress and Leslie Frazier were fired in the year after playoff appearances, including an NFC title game for Childress. So, in my opinion, I would give Zimmer a couple of more games. You know what? Actually, I would give him the rest of the season. I mean, he at least earned that much, especially when you look at the circumstances of the defense not being what it has been in the past. All of these rookies and first years and second year players that are now on the team. I would give Zimmer at least the rest of this year to turn this around. If the Vikings don't go, they're 1-5 now out of the first 6 games. I would say if the Vikings don't go at least 6-10, 7-9, I would get rid of Zimmer and just start fresh next year with a whole new coaching staff. That's what I would do. I'm going to take a quick break here. I'll be right back. All right, everybody. Thank you for holding there for me. Yeah, as I was saying, this season has been very disappointing. I have been the butt of a joke yesterday that was pretty good. It was done by a friend here on YouTube, Soul Alchemy. Guys, go check her out. She's really very funny. And the joke that she pulled on me yesterday. But yeah, our Vikings right now are not looking that good. This season is definitely over with for the Vikings. If they win 4 or 5 games this year, I'd be happy because I don't see much more after more than 5 games. The Vikings are going to win this year. And Kirk Cousins, yesterday he had 3 interceptions in the first half of that football game. A lot of times I defend Kirk Cousins, and I'm still defending Kirk Cousins because we have an awful offensive line. When most quarterbacks get, have the blocking in front of them as well as Kirk Cousins, of course they're gonna be able to get that ball to the receiver that they're trying to get it to. Of course, we know that Kirk Cousins isn't a mobile quarterback, so he has to have time to be able to deliver the ball to an open receiver or to the back in the backfield. If not, 9 times out of 10, he's going to take a sack, throw an interception, or just throw the ball away. So we have to get someone out there. We have to get some linemen, some blockers out there for Kirk Cousins for him to be effective. I mean, it's just what it is. It is what it is. And that's what we need. So until that happens, Kirk Cousins is going to have some issues, in this Viking offense. Now, the bright spot yesterday, of course, was again Justin Jefferson. Justin Jefferson is turning into the number one as far as receivers go on this team. And it's good to see at least one of our one of our rookies out there playing better than a lot of the veterans there. I did a video explaining my reasons why I think Justin Jefferson would be Rookie of the Year this year. And if he keeps playing the way he did yesterday, and he has over the past few weeks, him being Offensive Rookie of the Year would be a no-brainer. But anyway, everybody, that's my thoughts on yesterday's games, my thoughts on Mike Zimmer, is my thoughts on the offensive line and on Justin Jefferson. Please out there, go ahead on and share out this video if you see it. Subscribe to this channel. It's a new channel. I just started it a couple of weeks ago. I'm trying to build it up here on YouTube. If you're a Viking fan and you want to get Viking information, please go ahead and subscribe to this channel and pass it around to your fellow Viking fans. Skål, everybody. Take care.